All right, man. Here we are. I'm gonna have to. This is video number 2 on my appeal before the Idaho Supreme Court, based on the findings of facts and conclusions of law, done by Mr. Donahue, referee assigned to my case. I need to bring some things right now because there is a lot of garbage through even through this that they have filed that I've got to go through and get it all arranged so I can put it here on this for you all to read, to show how there is corruption in Idaho's legislation and in their government. I'm not sure about in their actual appeals court yet, but because of one of the ladies that I will bring her name out here in a little bit in regards to something that me and my domestic partner drove over 400 miles to file, and then when we drove 400 miles back, one of those documents were missing. But I went ahead and sent it in a letter to the judge himself, because Carol, that works there at the courthouse there as a filer, wouldn't let me speak to neither one of the two that we had handed these documents to. But anyway, here we are. On August 28th of 2012, I received a letter from the Idaho Industrial Commission. Right here from Miss Montgomery. Let's see if I can get a date in there somewhere. Yeah, let me just bring it down here. Here we go. From the Idaho Industrial Commission. And what this is doing, and this is what it says, is that in light of the repeated disruptive argument and confrontation you've had exhibited towards employees of the Idaho Industrial Commission while on commission property, you are hereby notified that you are, effective immediately, barred from entering into or upon property occupied by the Idaho Industrial Commission, unless this bar is lifted earlier. Your entry upon Commission's property or into facilities occupied by the Commission at any time during the next 12 months will constitute a trespass under the provision of Idaho Code 18-7008, paragraph 8. The penalty for misdemeanor trespass can be up to 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine, or both. So are you all trying to tell me then I'm not allowed to come and investigate my claim of the fraud that's being done? But that's okay, because when I get to the 152 pages that I had filed just prior to August 1st, when you all cut me off, but I still was supposed to have had till the 15th that I found out. But if you really look at things, shit, you guys filed and requested more records than that I would have ever thought of. It's just that you all did it in one filing. But I was only doing what you all suggested I could do, since it was overwhelming and I had to try to figure out how to produce it. You know, I was just filing it, as I went along and read it. So, that's where we're at. So here I've been threatened by the commission, because what's coming up next, everybody over there is trying to protect each other, okay? Especially Lynn / legislator. Mr. Lynn Luker / legislator, during my filings with the Industrial Commission in regards to my appeal before the Idaho Supreme Court on his ineffective assistance of counsel, and again, he has not responded really to anything other than a brief. And other than a letter also that he mailed to me, that I kind of sent a letter back to the commission, because I requested a copy of my contract that he had sent to me through the mail on the same day that I received something from the commission in regards to neither party, the state fund or my attorney Lynn Luker, doesn't respond to my brief to hit in relief. Because you see, this is where I'm a little confused at too. They went ahead and did the findings of facts and conclusions of law, but what they did is they made me argue Lynn Luker's off to the side. So what they did to me, where I was thinking is why things didn't get filed in the manner it should, because I wasn't informed that that I was entitled to file a motion for reconsideration on their findings of facts and conclusions of the law, because I, at the time, was still thinking that I was still working on their findings of fact, because Mr. Lynn Luker was part of the findings of facts. So since I still had to wait for him, for Mr. Luker, because I think what the commission did is they separated him. Why, I don't know. But it had me confused. Trust me. You know, because here I'm trying to fight, you know, Lynn Luker, and all of a sudden I find out that I've only got so many days to file my appeal, and trust me, everybody involved was aware of it. This ain't no game to me, guys. This is my life. As I was told by all these attorneys that I tried to call to get help, oh, this is just a game they all play. This ain't no game to my life. So, Mr. Luker, since the commission responded to a brief of mine, I mean to a letter to the commission of mine in regards to me requesting documents, supposedly because, you know, you didn't file a brief, you know, because I wasn't even notified that you had withdrawn until you notified me saying to pick my shit up, all the documents up from the commission's office. So basically what you did is you filed your decision on the 20th. You were granted on the 21st, and then on the 23rd you were granted, man. So where's your brief? Where is your brief, Mr. Luker, in regards to the you withdrawing as my attorney? Because you see, it was a lie, wasn't it? Because again, you're trying to make me look like, because that's why they put in that where I had fired this attorney, Mr. Brown, was to help you. Yeah, that was to help you, because the statement that was in regards to Mr. Brown is I didn't like the way that he was handling my case, so I fired him. But that's a lie, because I didn't fire him. You know, because I got a document to show that. You know what? But anyway, hey, Mr. Luker, because Mr. Donahue said that well, we don't have no record of him even coming back in one of his filings there. Oh, matter of fact, it's one of the ones that were altered and sent back to me with other filings that I wasn't catching on. Thank God for my lady, I'm telling you, man, because she's the one that caught that. You know, in my first video, you know, where I hung it up to the light. Oh, that's not the only one I got. I got more of them. But Lynn Luker, do you recognize this? This is a fax cover sheet. Isn't that sweet? Because it's just not the letter that I wrote. I also have the letter that goes with this fax sheet. Now, what does that say? December 22nd, 7th of 2010. I would like for you to move forward and settle my claim for $120,000 on claim number 2008-013505. I will also close my claim for Social Security disability. Now, you know, again, Mr. Luker, and you, the commission as a whole, I mean, how far can a person be pushed? And then for you, Mr. Baskin, they'll already start lying in that brief? Yeah. Okay? Now, because the reason why I'm showing you this, because I have been reading through your brief, Mr. Baskin, chairman of the commission. Now, when you send me this letter to stay away because I was disruptive, well, holy shit, man. But when I won that motion prior to Lynn Luker, to where Miss Julones had to testify in person, why did you not send me one then? Because I was doing it for 2 years on my own. Because I'll tell you why. Because when me and my domestic partner showed up down there on the 23rd of September to file that hearing worksheet that was requested of me, but I filed it in person, and then for you guys to turn around and and I guess, well, in regards to the that hearing worksheet and the call that came to me that, well, I had called y'all to let you know that I'd be in town the next day to file my worksheet. So what you guys tried to do is you threw together some kind of a scam to make everyone believe that I went ahead and agreed to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, what, you expected me and my lady? You know, in your records, you even state that, you know, it was about 5 o'clock our time. So basically what you're wanting us to do is drive from Vancouver, Washington to Boise, Idaho, after staying up all day on the 22nd, drive through the night on the 23rd, on the 22nd, to be there at 10 o'clock. So in order for that to have happened, we would have had to stay up all day, all night, and maybe be lucky to be pulling in there, because I said that we may be in there about 10 o'clock. You know, so if you want to make an afternoon hearing, that would be fine. Oh, well, I'll see what I can do. She comes back and she's got it set for fucking 10 o'clock, what I told her when I'd be there, and to go ahead and set it, you know. And of course, you know, well, we know what else was said. But, you know, this is what I did receive, okay, in the mail. Now, is this, okay, it says filed August 24th of 2012. Now, in this statement here, it states that y'all never seen me, never heard from me, nothing. But that's a lie, isn't it? Now, another thing that I'm a little concerned about, because is this just another ploy that, is this one of those false filings to make one believe, okay? To make one believe that something's been filed? Because even though that this is stamped filed, did that hearing actually take place? Because I also kind of looked up what augmented record means, and from my understanding, it's like disappear like a fart in the wind. Can you tell me why it's not signed? Here. Can you tell me why it's not signed? It's not signed by nobody. Okay? Okay? It's not signed. It's not done anything. So, is this an actual filing? Or is it one of those ones, you know, like the document that I'll be showing later on in regards to the 24th. So basically where I've got is, Mr. Luker, I've got you here coming back as you all were trying to hide, because they both came back under darkness after he had filed this, some kind of a complaint, or not a complaint, but he filed a motion to withdraw my attorney, because I did quote the date wrong here on my first video. But when I received that information from Social Security on December 15th of 2010, you quit 5 days later. Okay. So, you know, here I feel I've been threatened. I have a feeling this hasn't been done properly. You know, and, you know, that's pretty powerful. Mr. Luker, how come you didn't put anything about Social Security in my goddamn hearing, buddy? Oh, you did no wrong? What you did, buddy, is you took somebody that was pretty, you know, I wasn't weak. I was just a little confused on what the hell was going on, because they've been running me ragged, and I've been winning things, and that's another issue. You know, Mr. Luker, why did you not bring up my Social Security whatsoever in my hearing, or even in any of my filings? Everybody knew about it, everybody, but they're talking in here like nobody knew about it, because I'm the bad guy. Oh no, I have every right to be angry, because I ain't even done showing half the stuff. I ain't not even done showing anything. You know, that's just like right here. And then you're saying that about the record. I know I'm running out of time. But think about this right here, man. Look at the date on this. August 11th of 2008. When did they send me release of health information? They sent it to me on, well, coming soon. Later. My lady's waiting. I've been on this all day. She deserves a break. You know, let alone I got her living room like it is. Okay. I hope, you know, and the job site evaluation. And then that I quit my job. I mean, make up your guys' mind. Did I quit my job? Walk off my job? Did I go back to my job? Yes, I did. And did I get fired from my job? What is it, man? When I was sent back to work with that fraudulent job site evaluation, this right here, I had every right to be angry. I wasn't notified by anybody. Isn't that something that Sandy Basket should be giving the injured worker before he goes back to work so he knows what his options are? Isn't this something that Sandy Basket from the Industrial Commission Rehab Department, isn't this something that that she should give my boss? No, I have nothing against against Ken Adams. It's not his fault. He was thrown off just as much as we were. And matter of fact, he withdrew himself because I heard a little rumor that he wouldn't bow down to something that you guys wanted him to do. So, you know, that's just hearsay. But anyway, my word against your word. But you know what? That's just what it is. It's your word against my documents, because they ain't even heard the best yet. Remember when I got those records? And remember what records Lynn Luker did receive and he used? I'll try to get more to y'all at another time. I truly need to take a breather. Thank you for watching my video and to allow me to show you how there is corruption and Idaho government. Thank you.